Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about a simple yet powerful idea, daring to do more. Not just more in terms of work or responsibilities, but more in terms of impact, courage, and belief in ourselves. You hesitated before taking action. Maybe it was a dream you put on hold, an opportunity you let slip, or a conversation you avoided. Why? Most of the time, it's not because we lack ability, but because we allow fear to dictate our choices. The people who change the world are not the ones who have no fear, they're the ones who act despite it. The difference between those who reach their potential and those who don't isn't talent or intelligence, it's courage. Courage to take the first step. Courage to fail and try again. Courage to believe in something bigger than themselves. The greatest innovators, leaders, and change makers didn't wait for permission. They didn't have a roadmap. They dared to do more because they knew that growth happens when we step outside of what's comfortable. We let the fear of failure stop us. But failure isn't a signal to stop, it's a lesson that pushes us forward. Every breakthrough, every great achievement in history was built on moments of failure. The only real failure is not trying at all. Those who dare to do more don't just succeed for themselves, they inspire others. When you take bold action, you give permission for others to do the same. When you break barriers, you create a path for someone else to follow. The only thing standing between you and the life you're capable of living is a choice to push a little harder, a choice to embrace discomfort, a choice to dare to do more. I challenge you, take that step, make that call, start that project, share that idea, because the world doesn't just need people who dream, it needs people who dare. The way we perceive the world and ourselves determines the limits of what we can achieve. The difference between those who reach their full potential and those who remain stuck is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It's mindset. The belief that we are capable of growth, that we can overcome challenges, and that our efforts will lead to something meaningful is what separates those who thrive from those who settle. People assume that success is reserved for a select few, those born with extraordinary gifts or placed in the right circumstances. But history proves otherwise. The most influential leaders, thinkers, and innovators were not necessarily the most gifted at birth. They were the ones who refused to accept limitations. They were the ones who dared to believe that they could become more, do more, and create more. They understood that mindset is the foundation of progress. Many people allow their past experiences to define them. A failure in school, a lost opportunity, or a moment of rejection can become a permanent mental roadblock. But what if we chose to see these moments not as proof of our limitations, but as stepping stones to growth? The most successful people don't avoid failure, they embrace it as a necessary part of the journey. They know that setbacks are not a reflection of their worth or potential, but simply a challenge to be overcome. Believing in one's ability to grow and improve does not mean ignoring reality. It does not mean pretending that success comes easily. Instead, it means recognizing that effort and persistence make the difference. It's about understanding that skills can be developed, intelligence can be expanded, and obstacles can be turned into opportunities. This belief, often referred to as a growth mindset, changes how we approach challenges. Instead of seeing them as threats, we see them as puzzles to solve. Instead of fearing difficulties, we embrace them as part of the process. Fear is often what holds people back. The fear of looking foolish, the fear of failing, the fear of stepping outside of what is comfortable. But fear is not an enemy. It is simply an indicator that we are at the edge of something new. When we push past that fear, we enter the space where real growth happens. Every time we dare to go beyond what we thought possible, we redefine our own limits. Surrounding ourselves with the right influences also plays a crucial role in shaping our mindset. People who constantly doubt themselves, who focus on negativity, or who believe that life is fixed and unchangeable will inevitably pass that mentality on to others. But those who seek growth, who are willing to challenge themselves, and who see possibilities rather than obstacles, create an environment where progress thrives. The world rewards those who believe in themselves enough to take action. Every great invention, every movement for change, every breakthrough in history began with someone who refused to accept the idea that things had to stay the same. The same is true for each of us. Our potential is not determined by where we start, but by how far we are willing to push beyond our current limits. The journey begins with a simple decision: to believe that we can do more. And once we make that decision, the world begins to open in ways we never imagined. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that shape human behavior. It has the ability to paralyze us, keeping us from pursuing opportunities, speaking up, or taking risks that could lead to something extraordinary. While fear itself is not inherently bad, it exists to protect us from danger. It often becomes an obstacle when it prevents us from reaching our full potential. The fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown can keep us locked in a cycle of hesitation, making us settle for less than we are capable of achieving. Many people live within invisible boundaries, not because they lack ability, but because they allow fear to define what is possible. They tell themselves stories about why they cannot succeed, why they are not qualified, or why their dreams are out of reach. These limiting beliefs become so ingrained that they start to feel like truth. The reality, however, is that fear is often based on assumptions rather than facts. It is a voice that amplifies worst-case scenarios while ignoring the very real possibilities of success. Fear of failure is one of the most common barriers to growth. Many people avoid trying something new simply because they do not want to risk embarrassment or disappointment. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey toward it. Every successful person has failed, often multiple times, before they achieved their goals. The difference is that they did not allow failure to define them. Instead, they saw it as a lesson, an opportunity to improve, and a necessary step toward mastery. Powerful fear is the fear of judgment. Many individuals hold back from sharing their ideas, pursuing their passions, or stepping into leadership roles because they worry about what others will think. This fear can be particularly strong in a world where social validation plays such a significant role in our lives. However, the truth is that people will always have opinions, no matter what we do. If we allow the fear of judgment to dictate our choices, we give up control over our own lives. The most fulfilled and successful individuals are not those who seek approval from everyone. They are those who stay true to their vision, regardless of outside opinions. The fear of the unknown is another major reason people hesitate to take action. Uncertainty feels uncomfortable, and stepping into uncharted territory can be intimidating. However, growth only happens when we move beyond what we already know. Every major achievement in history came from someone daring to venture into uncertainty, to try something that had never been done before. Progress does not come from playing it safe. It comes from pushing boundaries and embracing the discomfort of not having all the answers. So how do we overcome fear? The key is not to eliminate it, but to reframe it. Instead of seeing fear as a stop sign, we can see it as a signal that we are on the edge of something important. Instead of letting fear control us, we can acknowledge it and move forward anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to take action despite it. The moment we choose to act in the face of fear, we take back our power. That is when real transformation begins. Many people hold themselves back because they strive for perfection. They wait until they feel fully prepared, until the timing is just right, or until they have every detail figured out before they take action. But the pursuit of perfection often becomes the very thing that prevents progress. The reality is that perfection is an illusion. There is no perfect moment, no flawless plan, and no guarantee of success. The people who accomplish the most in life are not those who wait for perfection, but those who prioritize their purpose over their fear of imperfection. We focus too much on perfection, we become stuck in a cycle of hesitation. We convince ourselves that we are not ready, that we need more time, more skills, or more experience. This mindset keeps us from starting, which means we never gain the experience necessary to improve. The truth is, the best way to learn and grow is by doing. Action leads to progress, and progress leads to mastery. Those who succeed understand that the journey begins with imperfect first steps. One of the biggest dangers of perfectionism is that it creates fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of looking unprepared, and fear of not meeting expectations. This fear can be paralyzing, stopping people from sharing their ideas, launching their projects, or stepping into leadership roles. But if we shift our mindset from seeking perfection to seeking progress, we free ourselves from this fear. Mistakes are not failures, they are feedback. Every misstep teaches us something valuable, refining our approach and making us stronger. Purpose-driven individuals do not let the fear of imperfection stop them because they understand that their mission is bigger than their insecurities. They recognize that what they have to offer, whether it's an idea, a product, or a movement, can make a difference even if it is not perfect from the start. They embrace the fact that impact matters more than flawless execution. The world does not need more people who wait for the perfect moment. It needs people who take action even when things feel uncertain. Downside of perfectionism is that it limits creativity and innovation. The greatest breakthroughs in history did not come from people who played it safe and waited until everything was perfect. They came from those who experimented, failed, adjusted, and tried again. Every great invention, every artistic masterpiece, and every major success story is built on a foundation of trial and error. Those who dare to create without the pressure of perfection are the ones who push boundaries and shape the future. Letting go of perfection does not mean settling for mediocrity. It means striving for excellence while accepting that mistakes and imperfections are part of the process. It means recognizing that real growth happens in the doing, not in the waiting. Instead of aiming to be flawless, we should aim to be relentless in our pursuit of purpose. The choice is simple. We can either wait for perfection and risk never starting, or we can embrace the imperfections, take action, and allow progress to shape us along the way. Those who make a real impact in the world are the ones who dare to move forward, not because they are perfect, but because their purpose is greater than their fear of imperfection. Many people believe that success is achieved through big, bold moves. They assume that those who accomplish great things make dramatic leaps forward, taking huge risks and making immediate breakthroughs. But the truth is quite different. Success is rarely the result of one massive action. It is built through small, consistent steps taken over time. The smallest actions, repeated daily, have the power to create extraordinary results. Those who dare to do more understand that steady progress is far more powerful than waiting for the perfect opportunity to make a giant leap. One of the biggest reasons people never achieve their goals is that they overestimate the importance of a single breakthrough and underestimate the power of small, repeated efforts. They believe that in order to succeed, they must make drastic changes all at once. But in reality, transformation happens in increments. A person does not become a great athlete overnight. They train daily, improving bit by bit. A writer does not create a masterpiece in a single sitting. They write consistently, refining their craft. A successful entrepreneur does not build an empire in a day. They make small, strategic decisions that compound over time. Consistency is the secret weapon of those who achieve greatness. Every small step forward builds momentum, and momentum is what fuels lasting success. When we commit to taking action every day, even if it feels insignificant at the time, we create habits that lead to progress. It is not the size of the step that matters, but the commitment to taking it. Those who wait for the right time to make a big move often find themselves stuck in place, while those who take small, continuous actions move steadily toward their goals. The advantage of small steps is that they make fear easier to overcome. When faced with a big challenge, it is natural to feel intimidated. The thought of taking a huge leap can be overwhelming, leading to hesitation and self-doubt. But when we break that challenge into smaller, manageable steps, fear loses its grip. Instead of focusing on the enormity of the goal, we focus on the next step, something achievable and within our control. This builds confidence, proving to us that we are capable of moving forward. Small actions also allow for learning and adjustment. When we take one step at a time, we have the opportunity to evaluate, adapt, and improve along the way. If something does not work, we can make changes without losing too much time or energy. This approach creates flexibility, which is essential for long-term success. Those who rely on one big move often struggle when things do not go as planned, while those who take small, steady steps can pivot and grow with each experience. The people who make a real impact understand that progress is not about making one giant leap, but about taking consistent, courageous steps. They do not wait for perfect conditions or sudden breakthroughs. They move forward every day, even when progress feels slow. Over time, these small steps create unstoppable momentum. Doing more is not in waiting for the right moment. It is in making the most of every moment. Small steps may not seem significant in the moment, but when compounded over time, they have the power to change everything. Challenges are an inevitable part of life. No matter how talented, prepared, or determined we are, obstacles will arise. Some people see these challenges as reasons to stop, while others see them as opportunities to grow. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is resilience. The ability to keep moving forward despite difficulties, failures, and setbacks. Those who dare to do more understand that challenges are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones that build strength, wisdom, and character. Many people believe that success is about talent or luck, but in reality, it is about perseverance. The most accomplished individuals in any field are not the ones who had the easiest journey. They are the ones who refused to quit when things got tough. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it is a necessary part of it. Every mistake, every setback, and every disappointment contains a lesson that can be used to move forward stronger than before. The people who achieve the most in life are those who can take failure and turn it into fuel. One of the biggest reasons people give up is that they expect success to come quickly and easily. When things do not go as planned, they assume they are not good enough or that their efforts are wasted. But real progress takes time, and challenges are a natural part of the journey. Every great success story is built on a foundation of persistence. The greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and innovators did not reach the top because everything worked perfectly for them. They reached the top because they kept going, even when things were difficult. Resilience is not just about enduring hardships. It is about growing through them. Challenges force us to adapt, think differently, and develop new skills. When we face difficulties with the mindset that we can learn from them, we become stronger and more capable. Instead of seeing challenges as barriers, we can see them as opportunities to become better versions of ourselves. Every struggle we overcome adds to our strength and prepares us for even greater achievements. To resilience is maintaining the right perspective. When faced with difficulties, it is easy to focus on what is going wrong, but those who develop resilience train their minds to focus on solutions instead of problems. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I use this challenge to grow? Instead of being consumed by frustration or disappointment, they channel their energy into finding a way forward. Surrounding ourselves with the right people also plays a major role in resilience. No one succeeds alone, and having a strong support system can make all the difference. Encouraging mentors, friends, and colleagues can provide motivation and perspective when things get tough. Being around those who believe in us helps us believe in ourselves, even in the most difficult times. Resilience is a choice. It is the decision to keep going, to push forward, and to refuse to let obstacles define us. Every time we choose to rise after a setback, we prove to ourselves that we are stronger than we think. Success is not about never facing challenges. It is about facing them with determination and courage. Those who dare to do more are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who rise every time they do. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our mindset, decisions, and ultimately our success. No one achieves greatness alone. Every successful person, whether in business, sports, or any other field, has been influenced by those around them. The right environment can push us to grow, inspire us to take risks, and help us stay committed to our goals. On the other hand, being surrounded by negativity, doubt, and limiting beliefs can hold us back from reaching our full potential. Humans are social creatures, and we naturally absorb the energy, attitudes, and behaviors of those we interact with the most. If we spend time with people who constantly complain, make excuses, or fear failure, we may start to adopt the same mindset. Their doubts can become our doubts, and their limitations can become our limitations. However, if we surround ourselves with individuals who challenge us, encourage us, and push us to be better, we start to rise to their level. Success is contagious just like negativity is. Choosing the right people to be around is one of the most important decisions we can make. Greatness requires stepping outside of our comfort zones, and the right people will push us to do just that. They will challenge us to take risks, to think bigger, and to strive for more. When we have people in our lives who believe in us, we start believing in ourselves even more. Their confidence in us becomes a source of strength when we face doubt or uncertainty. They remind us of our capabilities, especially in moments when we question them ourselves. Mentors and role models play a crucial role in shaping our mindset. Learning from those who have already achieved what we aspire to do allows us to gain valuable insights and avoid common mistakes. A good mentor does not just give advice. They challenge us to grow. They hold us accountable, helping us stay on track even when things get tough. Finding the right mentors, whether in person, through books, or even by studying their work, can accelerate our progress in ways we never imagined. Important is the need to distance ourselves from people who drain our energy and our vision. Some individuals, whether intentionally or not, discourage progress. They may project their own fears onto us, doubting our ability to succeed because they themselves are afraid to try. They may criticize our ambitions, or if someone is constantly bringing negativity into our lives, we must have the courage to set boundaries and prioritize our growth. We should also strive to be the kind of person who lifts others up. Success is not just about receiving encouragement, it is also about giving it. By supporting those around us, offering encouragement, and celebrating others' wins, we create an environment of growth and positivity. When we help others rise, we rise too. The people around us influence our potential more than we realize. If we want to achieve greatness, we must choose to surround ourselves with those who inspire us, challenge us, and believe in our ability to do more. The right environment makes all the difference. And when we have the right people by our side, there is no limit to what we can achieve. Comfort is one of the biggest obstacles to growth. It feels safe, familiar, and predictable. But it also keeps us from reaching our full potential. Those who achieve great things in life are not the ones who stay where they are comfortable. They are the ones who dare to step into discomfort, uncertainty, and challenge. Growth does not happen in the comfort zone. It happens when we push ourselves beyond what feels easy and take on challenges that force us to adapt and evolve. Many people resist stepping outside their comfort zones because they fear failure, rejection, or embarrassment. They prefer to stick with what they know, even if it means staying stuck in the same place. But what they fail to realize is that every skill, every breakthrough, and every achievement happens when we stretch ourselves beyond our current limits. The moment we step into the unknown, we start discovering what we are truly capable of. Any great athlete, entrepreneur, or artist, none of them reached their level of mastery by doing what was easy. They consistently challenged themselves, took risks, and embraced discomfort. They understood that the path to success is filled with moments of uncertainty and struggle. But instead of avoiding those moments, they leaned into them. They used discomfort as a tool for growth, knowing that every challenge they faced would make them stronger and more capable. One of the biggest benefits of stepping outside our comfort zone is the development of resilience. The more we challenge ourselves, the more we learn to handle difficulties without breaking. Each time we push past our fears and doubts, we build confidence in our ability to overcome obstacles. Over time, what once felt impossible becomes second nature, and we begin to welcome challenges instead of fearing them. Important aspect of growth is learning from failure. When we take risks, there is always the possibility that things will not go as planned. But failure is not something to avoid, it is something to learn from. Every failure provides valuable lessons that help us improve and refine our approach. The most successful people in the world are not those who never fail, they are those who fail and keep going, using each setback as a stepping stone toward success. Stepping outside of our comfort zone also opens us up to new opportunities. When we stay in familiar territory, we limit ourselves to what we already know. But when we take risks, we expose ourselves to new experiences, new people, and new possibilities that we never could have imagined. Many of the greatest opportunities in life come from unexpected places, and the only way to find them is to be willing to explore beyond what feels safe. The key to long-term success and fulfillment is to make discomfort a habit. Instead of avoiding challenges, we should seek them out. Instead of fearing the unknown, we should embrace it. The more we practice pushing ourselves beyond our limits, the more we realize that we are capable of far more than we ever believed. The greatest achievements in life come from those who are willing to step into uncertainty, face challenges head-on, and embrace the discomfort of growth. If we want to do more, achieve more, and become more, we must be willing to leave the comfort zone behind and step boldly into the unknown. One of the most powerful choices we can make is to take responsibility for our lives. Too often, people fall into the trap of blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck for where they are. They wait for opportunities instead of creating them, and they make excuses instead of taking action. But those who dare to do more understand that the key to success lies in taking full ownership of their actions, decisions, and mindset. They refuse to let external factors dictate their future, choosing instead to shape their own destiny. Taking ownership means recognizing that we are in control of our own lives. It means understanding that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable, but they do not have to define us. The moment we stop blaming and start taking responsibility, we take back our power. Instead of waiting for the perfect conditions, we create them. Instead of hoping for change, we become the ones who make it happen. One of the biggest reasons people fail to take ownership is fear. It is easier to blame external factors than to admit that we have the power to change our situation. But when we take full responsibility, we gain the ability to improve, grow, and move forward. If something is not working in our lives, we have the ability to change it. If we lack a skill, we can learn it. If we make a mistake, we can correct it. Excuses keep us stuck, but ownership sets us free. Successful people understand that they are the authors of their own story. They do not wait for opportunities, they create them. They do not complain about their circumstances, they work to improve them. They do not dwell on failures, they learn from them and keep moving forward. This mindset separates those who achieve their goals from those who remain stuck in place. Taking ownership also means being accountable for our decisions. It requires honesty with ourselves about where we are and where we want to be. It means recognizing that our habits, choices, and daily actions determine our future. Every decision we make, whether big or small, either moves us closer to our goals or further away from them. Those who take responsibility for their lives are intentional about their choices, making decisions that align with their values and ambitions. An important aspect of ownership is the willingness to embrace discomfort. Growth requires stepping into uncertainty and taking risks. When we take responsibility for our lives, we understand that success is not given, it is earned. We do not wait for motivation or inspiration. We take action even when it is difficult. We push through challenges knowing that everything we want to achieve is on the other side of persistence. The most empowering realization we can have is that we are in control of our own lives. No one else is responsible for our success or happiness. The moment we accept that truth, we unlock our full potential. We stop making excuses and start making progress. We stop blaming and start building. The world does not owe us success. We owe it to ourselves to take action, take responsibility, and create the life we want. Daring to do more is not about waiting for the perfect moment, having all the answers, or being fearless. It is about taking action despite uncertainty. It is about embracing challenges, pushing beyond comfort, and surrounding ourselves with the right people who inspire and challenge us. True growth happens when we step into discomfort, take ownership of our lives, and commit to continuous progress. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck is not luck or talent. It is the willingness to take risks, learn from failure, and persist through adversity. Every step forward, no matter how small, creates momentum. Every challenge overcome builds resilience. And every decision to take responsibility for our future empowers us to shape our own destiny. If we want to create meaningful change in our lives, we must stop waiting and start acting. The path to success is not a straight line. It is filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But those who dare to do more understand that every challenge is an opportunity, every failure is a lesson, and every risk is a chance to grow. The world does not need more people who play it safe. It needs those who are bold enough to take action, courageous enough to embrace imperfection, and resilient enough to keep going. The choice is ours. We can stay where we are, or we can dare to do more.